Let's go.
Are we recording?
Yep.
Here we go.
Don't pay any attention to what I'm doing on the computer. Don't let that distract you.
What are you doing on the computer?
Don't let it distract you.
Oh.
Just listen to the calm,
The
soothing
sounds.
sound of Brian's voice.
Oh,
and just
soothing.
go into the intro of the
Oh,
podcast.
so soothing. We might just keep that in. Oh, so soothing. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Brothers Game podcast. I am Nicolai.
And I am Brian.
And this is the only podcast on the internet. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Welcome to the only podcast on the internet.
The only podcast ever recorded.
And especially the
human
only
history.
one that ever has talked about a video game.
Well, of course.
Brian, have you played a video game?
Never. Not in my life.
Yeah, me either. Well, everyone, thanks for watching. This has been the Brothers Game podcast. Brian, how's it going?
It's going good.
Is it though?
Yeah. I mean, I think so.
That's cool. You're not just saying that to be fake. You're not faking
Nope,
with me.
I am always doing good.
Are you reeling with me?
I'm so real right now.
That's cool. So, what have you been playing?
I have been playing Breath of the Wild.
I already knew that. I was just asking for the podcast's sake. So, how's Breath of the Wild going?
It's going good. Right now, I am just trying to locate all the shrines, trying to get to them all, and then
You're just
that
purely
way.
doing shrines right now?
Yeah, and I'm not even like going through the shrines. I'm just getting to them so that I can teleport to them
interesting.
later. I want to just fill out the map with shrine and like village and stable locations.
Interesting. I have never heard of someone playing it like that.
Yeah, so I mentioned this in the previous episode, but when it comes to more open world games, I really like to explore. When I played World of Warcraft,
Nerd.
thanks. I went to fill out the whole map. I tried to just stop. I tried to fill out the entire map. And
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah,
of course,
I totally get that because I hate Fog of War.
yeah.
In any game like that. So like I want that mini map to be completely open. I want to see everything.
Yeah, and it often involved me going into areas that was way above my level.
Oh yeah, totally.
But those were the areas I wanted to see most. So I would just run straight into them, just unequip all my gear so it wouldn't get damaged and then die repeatedly.
Wow. That's awesome.
So I've had a very similar experience in Breath of the Wild, just like going to these places where there are really powerful enemies that I am not at all equipped to fight yet,
Like
and
what?
just dying over and over again.
What's been killing you? Do you have a one enemy that you hate to see? That you just get
I
really
forget what's
annoyed
that
at?
centaur thing called.
Oh, the Lionel, yeah.
Yeah, well, there are like
They're the
two of them in a
some
certain
areas.
area.
Yeah, a couple areas,
Some
there's, like, two
ravine that
right
I
next
was
to each other.
riding my horse through, and
By a Kala? Were they blue?
no,
Were they blue?
this was more like in between the Gerudo Highlands and the snowy place.
Like the northern? Is that
Yeah,
sunny?
this was far west.
Oh,
the far
yes.
west.
Okay. I think I remember. What color were they? You remember?
Brown.
Brown?
Yeah.
There are no brown ones.
Well,
Oh, were they just the red regular ones, maybe?
I guess.
Probably?
I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
I think those are the regular ones. Because there's also blue, and then there's silver ones.
Oh,
And
okay.
the silver ones are insane.
I was not looking that closely because I was just trying to
Yeah,
run
you're
away
just
from
running
them.
for your life. So do you have a horse then?
I did.
I did.
So
You don't want to hear that. You never want to
So
hear
his
that.
name, I named him Steve.
Steve the horse.
He was Steve the horse.
The
I'm
great
great
Steve.
at naming characters in video games.
Yeah, this is
by
why
the
you
way.
don't nickname your Pokemon.
Exactly.
Because they would all be Steve.
Steve. I don't know why. That's almost always the
I mean,
first
it's a
name I
great,
think
it's a
of.
classic name. That's good.
One time I had a Metapod and I named him Steven. And it was on purpose Steven, not Steve.
Nice. This one's special. It's Steven.
Yeah. But so Steve and I were going to the Akala lab.
Yeah,
And
the Call Tech Lab.
I didn't
Super
realize that there was a guardian
northeast.
just sitting there behind
yeah.
a stone, just
Like right in
waiting
front
to ambush me. So it killed me once, and then I tried again to just rush through it on my horse just as fast as possible, and it still managed to shoot me, but I managed to jump off the horse at the last second, and
So it
so my
just
horse
nicked the
just
horse?
died. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's messed up. So you didn't just go around the guardian?
No,
where it couldn't see you?
I couldn't see any way to do that.
Absolutely
So
a path. Just go down to the right. That's horrible. So do you know about the horse god?
no.
So there is the great fairy fountains.
Right.
There's a very similar place that looks a lot like a great fairy fountain called Shrine of the horse god, something like that. You have to go across the horse god bridge to find it, and you can pay them to revive any horse.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can actually get your
I might
horses
be able
back.
to get Steve
You
back.
could get Steve back, or just get a new one because it doesn't. Probably weren't that emotionally attached to that one.
I was very emotionally attached. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Steve.
But it's especially good if you get like the royal horse and that dies. You definitely would want to get that back. So
Yeah.
there's a side quest to get the royal white horse. It was Zelda's horse.
Oh, interesting.
It's very good horse too, and it's just pure white. It's
At
very
one
cool.
point, I came across a herd of horses with one
Mm-hmm.
slightly larger horse, kind of leading them.
Oh, was it like black with like orange hair?
I think so.
It was just a huge
I think
horse.
it might have been.
That's a special horse.
Yeah.
There's only one in the game in a very specific area.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the giant horse.
Yeah. I managed to chase it off, but
Yeah. Yep, I have that one in my main game. It's one of the few special horses. There's also there's a stall horse, a skeleton horse.
oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's by one of those huge mazes. Like there's three. There's two in the north. They're like just giant walled off like mazes, basically squares. Have you seen those? They're just
I think I
giant
might
like
have,
stone structures. They're like basically a maze inside. Yeah, there's one near that. That's pretty cool.
Interesting. So, so after Steve died, I've just been running around on foot.
Since Steve died, it's been the same.
I can't just
kill
find another horse. That would
What
just
color?
be.
What color was he?
I think he was like white.
Mm-hmm. Was
But
he like spotted on the
yeah.
back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's one of the easy ones.
Mm-hmm.
Those are a little easier to catch than the
Yeah,
solid
it
colored ones.
said his temperament was like tame or peaceful or whatever.
They're easier to catch.
Yeah.
But
He
often have
he
lower
had been
stats.
ridden by a goblin, a boko.
Oh, you took one of the rider ones.
Yeah, so I killed the guy
cool.
and then took his horse.
They sometimes ride donkeys instead of horses, too, which is funny.
I'm not sure I've seen a donkey yet.
Mm-hmm. Like they're just like miniature horses, basically.
Also found that if you're wearing a flame sword in a snowy area, it boosts your cold resistance,
Yeah.
so that was way easier
You're like,
than
that would have been helpful.
eating
Eating
resistant
food, yeah.
food over and over again.
I never bother with the temperature foods and stuff. I just I go for one of the elemental weapons or for the various outfits. That's like my first goal now. Every time I've started a new Breath of the Wild, I just get every outfit I need like as quickly as possible because I know where they all are now. But like the cold one's not too hard to get. That one you just have to pay for. You go to the Rito village.
Oh, okay,
The bird people. You can just buy a cold resistant outfit.
Yeah. I do have the fire guard outfit from the Goron city.
Oh, cool.
'cause
You have the full outfit?
I have the chest piece and the leggings, so I
Nice.
just need the
You
helmet.
just need to buy the helmet. They're really expensive. They're
Yeah.
like 2,000 each. So yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
If you upgrade that two spots, you're 100% flame proof. And so like from then on in shrines and stuff, when you have to like turn off flame walls, you never have to do that again. You literally can just walk through the flames.
Oh, nice.
Which is really cool. Yeah, I love that.
And then I've been to 2 of the Great Fairies, so I've gotten a couple of upgrades in that regard.
The last one, oh my gosh. Whenever you do the 4th one, it costs 10,000 rupees.
Oh, okay, so they
do
cost
her.
more each time.
Yeah, so it's like 500, 1,000, and then like 3,000, 3 to 5,000. I don't remember the third one. and the fourth one is 10,000.
That's
It's ridiculous.
crazy.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, that one takes some time to get up to sometimes.
There are some items that I'm like afraid to sell because I don't know what use they might have in the future.
Like what? Tell me about them.
Well, like some of the ancient gears.
Oh yeah, don't sell those.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because you can build stuff with them.
Yeah. And then I've been accumulating a few of those like precious stones.
Yeah, mostly those can be used to upgrade things. But also one of their main uses is to sell.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like whenever the description said sells for a high price, those
Yeah.
are the ones I sold.
like diamonds, I pretty much just sell all my diamonds.
Yeah.
And luminous stones, and they fetch for a pretty good price actually. So usually, if I'm grinding for money, I go for luminous stones because their commonality to price ratio is pretty good. So yeah, that's a good one to go for usually.
I just reached Gerudo Town.
Yeah, nice.
That was the most recent thing.
Gerudo's
Yeah.
kind of cool. There's a lot of ore deposits there too, so you can really grind for gems there. So
Out of the 120 shrines, I have been to about 80 of them,
oh, that's
and
pretty
I've
good.
completed about 25.
Yeah, interesting. Have you done a lot of Koroks along the way?
Not a
much of
lot, maybe 8.
Just when you run across them?
Uh-huh.
There is 900 of those.
900.
Yes.
Wow.
I've never gotten all of them. I think it's about 900. I don't remember the exact number. I haven't even done all of them. I think the most I did in my main was like 300. I think that's it. I was just like, no thanks. I'm done.
I found the Master Sword in the,
Oh yeah. So you went
in
to
the forest.
the
Yeah.
Korok Forest? Nice.
I do not have enough hearts to pull it yet.
No, you need 13 to be able to pull it.
I have about 10.
When you're at 13, you can pull it.
Nice.
So you're not too far off.
Does that have limited durability too? Does that
So,
break?
The thing,
or-
it doesn't break, but it does. There's a cooldown on it if you use it too much. So the thing with the Master Sword is, so when you get it, it's only 30 power. So it's pretty good, but not the best. And if you use it on regular enemies like bokoblins and stuff, it will not last long at all. It does not have much durability, and it'll say it'll run out of energy. And then it'll be, you can't use it for 10 minutes, 10 real-time minutes. So it has like a cooldown. But if you are fighting a guardian, if you are fighting, so like any guardian, any type of guardian, if you are in one of the divine beasts or in Hyrule Castle, the Master Sword will glow during that time, meaning that you can use it like 100 times more, and it bumps up from 30 damage to 60 damage.
Oh, nice.
Which is insane for a one-handed weapon. So, and it'll last a very long time. It'll still run out of energy eventually, but way more durability. So it's really good to get. I sometimes get it before I do any of the divine beasts because it makes them just super easy. You can you just rinse the bosses in those from then on, and then you can actually take on guardians. I feel like.
I have killed one guardian.
Oh, nice.
I did manage to do that once.
Did you use a sword or did you deflect it with your shield?
Oh no, I just hacked away until it
wailed on
died.
The easiest thing is getting the timing down, because if you parry their laser, it'll kill them in almost one hit usually.
Oh wow.
1 to 2 hits. The walking ones, if you get the Master Sword, makes it especially easy, or an ancient weapon. You can actually cut off their legs. So if you I usually try to surprise them, get behind a tree, so I'm really close to them. So if you use the Master Sword, 2 hits will cut off a leg, and you'll often hit multiple legs at once. And then once you're just circling him, and he gets stunned for a little bit, and then you can just rinse them, and it makes even walking ones pretty easy. So
Nice.
yeah, that's pretty cool. That's fun.
Yep. I have completed one divine beast, the Ruta, the elephant.
That's always the first one I do. I think some people say that the Rito one is better to do first, but yeah, I don't know. I always go for the Zora one. I also just really like Zora's Domain
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
doing
It's a cool zone.
It's really cool. Did you get the Zora gear, the whole set?
No, not the whole set. Just the chest
Just
piece.
the chest?
Yeah.
Ooh. So with the legs, it's actually pretty easy. You just need to get a picture of a Lionel. Obviously, the one right by Zora's domain would be the easiest, but you can get a picture of any Lionel, and then you just show it to somebody in the Zora's domain, and they'll give you the legs,
Nice.
the greaves, and then the helmet is really close by too. Just north of the main domain area, there's a giant waterfall, a super wide one, and if you go all the way to the top of that, because you can go up waterfalls with the chest. There's a little pond with a ruin in it, and around there, in there somewhere, there's a chest with the headpiece in it.
Very interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I always go. I'm all about the clothing. That's often my favorite thing in games. I feel like, and especially at adventure games like that. I did the same thing in Fable. I always just love collecting all of the outfits for some reason.
My thing is I don't know where any of them are.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So I always go for them. So are you like against Googling them or?
Not necessarily.
don't know what you're looking
I
for
just
either,
kind of.
really?
I think I Googled a couple, and then it seemed like a lot of work to get them, and I just figured everything would be, and that it was just too early for me to bother trying to go for them yet. So.
I mean, if you're going to every area and unlocking all the shrines, probably isn't too bad. But yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing with Breath of the Wild.
Dude, I love Breath. I don't know if you could tell by how I'm talking about it. I love Breath of the Wild. I recently played almost all the way through it again, because some of our family members, my brother-in-law Greg and my niece Ariana were playing it, getting super into it, and just watching them play it, I was just like, gosh, I just need to play Breath of the Wild again. So I blew through 80 shrines, I think, before they were done with 25. So I think I've almost beaten it. I've only beaten it 3 times, but I think I've almost beaten it more like 6 or 7 times. Yeah. So yeah, Breath of the Wild is awesome.
So you've been playing Pokemon Silver still, right?
Yes, I am still playing Silver. I finally beat the so I'm on that in between the place with I forgot the name of the town. It's the one with the lighthouse and the steel gym.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I just
So it's
the
off
name
right
escaped
off
me,
a shore,
but yeah.
and then you got to surf all the way down to Cinewood, which is just a little tiny island town with the fighting gym. So I did the fighting gym. Actually, so what happened was, this is so embarrassing. Basically, I don't remember Gen 2 at all. I'll be honest. So I did the lighthouse where I had to went all the way to the top, talked to the lady who has the sick Ampharos, I think.
Yeah.
And so you have to go get the medicine from Cianwood.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So I surfed all the way to Cianwood, doing all the trainers along the way, trying to buff up my team as much as possible. And then when I got there, I went straight for the pharmacy. I grabbed got the medicine and left. Yeah, now I know that that's funny that I did that. So I surfed all the way back up to that town, went all the way back up the lighthouse, gave her the medicine. She went back to the gym, and I was like, sweet, I'll go do that gym. Effectively not knowing it, skipping the 5th gym and going for the 6th gym. So when I went into the steel gym with a level 25 Vulpix against her level 32 maybe, I think it was just 30, Steelix, who rinsed my entire team because he was a level 30 Steelix. And I was like, that was really high level. It really surprised me because the trainers on the surfing path were not very difficult at all. I was like, wait a second. So I looked up Cianwood and was like, that was
Something is
gym
wrong
5,
here.
not gym 6. I see. And so once I finally knew that, swam back down to Cianwood. My Noctowl destroyed the fighting gym pretty well because I still don't have my Espeon.
Oh yeah.
My Vulpix is level 34, 35 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Not Vulpix, sorry, Eevee.
Oh yeah.
Still apparently not at max friendship because it seems like in these older games it takes just so long.
Oh yeah.
It's so easy now,
Definitely.
comparatively. So I only had my Noctowl to take on fighting types, but it fared pretty well, even though I only had Peck still, because he doesn't learn a good move for a while. So
The movesets were awful in Gen 2.
yeah, that's one thing they've really fixed now. So yeah, finally I beat him, got Fly from the girl outside, so then I was able to fly back to the other town instead of having to surf through that path again, and so. I then grinded my Vulpix a little bit, got her up to level 30 before fighting that gym, and that one went pretty well. I used Vulpix most of the time. She took out the Magnemites pretty easily because she has 2 Magnemites and a Steelix. The Steelix killed my Vulpix once, and so I had to use my Poliwhirl. Surfed a couple times, and that took him out pretty easily because even though he's steel, he's still weak to water because he's ground.
Right.
I don't think steel is resistant to water, so it was still super effective. But then my it was so cool because like I actually revived my Vulpix in the middle of the Steelix because it was like Magnemite, Steelix, then another Magnemite in her thing, and so with Poliwhirl out, I revived and healed up my Vulpix. And so, because I wanted her to get more experience because she was the lower level one still. And so when I beat the Steelix, put Vulpix back out, the Magnemite used Sonic Boom, which is just 20 damage straight up.
Right.
And Vulpix does not have very much health.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like already scared. But her Ember critted and one-shot the Magnemite. And I was like, yes! I was like, oh, the perfect ending to this gym fight. So, yes, I defeated her. And then that's about it, I think. I think I went back then to the whatever route I was supposed to go to next. So, that's where I'm at.
I always used to start Cyndaquil, so I usually had a Typhlosion by then. So, yeah, she was always really easy for me.
That makes sense. Yeah, I like Totodile is probably still my favorite. Mostly I do water starters, but I did Chikorita this time just because I really like that line too. I think I said this in the last one, but I love all the starters from Gen 2. I think it's a really good gen. Speaking of Pokemon, there's a new Direct announced. It hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
But since you don't follow any news ever for any video games,
I don't really care about new games, so I haven't really been consistently following gaming news since like 2012.
So I will be the resident person in this podcast who knows anything about what's going on. So I get to educate you, Brian. Congratulations. So there's a new Direct coming out. It's very soon. It's the 9th. So a couple days. And all they said was there's a Pokemon Direct happening, and everyone went, well, what? Why? Like the new game just came out. So there's tons of speculation, obviously, about what is possibly going to be about. The main consensus is definitely that they're going to talk about Pokemon Home a lot. Do you even know what that is?
No,
you don't. That's what I thought. So Pokemon Home is going to be a Switch app that is kind of the hub of all the Pokemon stuff. So like the 3DS had the Pokemon Bank.
Oh yeah, I
where
remember
you could hold Pokemon and trade them in between games. This is kind of the new version of that with extra stuff added to it too. And there was a newly announced thing like Pokemon Sleep was announced, and that'll connect with Home somehow. That's like a phone app that tracks your sleep.
Oh, weird. A Pokemon
Yeah,
sleep
that
app?
can, and like you play sleep like a game. Like if you sleep really well, it like trains Pokemon. Like literally, like that's kind of I'm like, that's actually a really interesting idea. That's kind of cool. Sorry, I just kicked the table. You might have heard that. Really interesting idea, actually. So yeah, Google Home, not that
Google
Pokemon Home is probably going to be talked about a lot. But then there's also all of the other speculation
Pokemon Home. Store your Pokemon in the cloud.
In the cloud Pokemon. Anyone who's thinking that they're gonna announce, literally, I've heard people are like, maybe they're gonna announce they're putting the whole Pokedex in Sword and Shield. Like, you're an idiot. That is so not gonna happen. They very explicitly said they're not gonna do that. But some actually think that there might be, they might announce Gen 4 remakes, which has been on people's minds for a long time now, ever since the Gen 3 remakes came out for 3DS.
Right.
So that everyone really wants Diamond and Pearl remakes.
Yeah, which that's interesting because, oh, no, I guess not. I was thinking of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but those are Gen 2 remakes, obviously, that happened during Gen 4.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool because, honestly, it's my least favorite gen. And so I think maybe people are excited about it because the people who grew up with that Pokemon are now older and like adults now, which is weird. But
and I would play a 3DS or even Switch,
hopefully Switch
remake of them.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to play through those because I feel like the biggest miss on that was the Pokedex itself, was the Pokemon that were in the game.
Yeah,
I hated it. It's like I didn't like any of the Pokemon. I started with Piplup, who's great water type, and Empoleon is water steel, really strong. Basically, if you didn't start with Chimchar in that game, I think Chimchar, the Infernape's starter, that you were just kind of screwed. Like, the game is so balanced towards you starting with Chimchar. Like, there are no good fire types otherwise, pretty much. I remember I had a Ponyta on my team because I couldn't get any other good fire types, in my opinion, at least. And then I had a ground type. I think I had a Gastrodon as a ground type, so I had 2 water types. I don't know. I might have just been dumb back then, but I did not enjoy that game really very much. So hopefully, a remake might make me like it more.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's other things. Mostly people think it's going to be Pokemon Home and new max raids for Sword and Shield, and that's pretty much it. But who knows? Some speculation said that there's going to be a new Detective Pikachu game on Switch.
Oh, interesting.
Which is kind of cool. I've actually really wanted to go back. I might do it still. Go back and play the actual 3DS Detective Pikachu game because it did look kind of interesting. Because very good movie.
Yeah, I loved the movie.
I really enjoyed the movie, actually. And the game looks kind of cool. So I haven't played much of the Pokemon spin-off games. Like, did you ever play a single Mystery Dungeon game?
No, I haven't played Mystery Dungeon or Puzzle League or...
Right. I liked Puzzle League. Puzzle League was fun.
I did play Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, we did play Snap. Yeah, Snap's
but
great.
That was at the very height of my Pokemon hype. So
I think that's why Pokemon Snap was so popular. It was really coming off the popularity of Stadium.
Yeah.
And like the trading card game for Game Boy, and just like everything was Pokemon. So like Pokemon Snap, like, oh man, of course. And then Hey You Pikachu came out, and no one cared at all. Yeah, so I actually played my first Mystery Dungeon game was the 3DS one, Super Mystery Dungeon, which is pretty good, well reviewed. Like most the consensus is it's pretty good. I actually really enjoyed it. So I actually went back and I bought, I just recently got it. I got the very first one, the Red Rescue Team for GBA, because it was like $6. It was like really cheap. I was like, oh, I should go back and play the first one. And because a lot of people say it's still a very good one. I think most people's favorite is the Blue Rescue Team for DS. That was the second one that came out. But it's a pretty interesting game because it's very story driven. They're like, and like, you'll start as a Pokemon, right? You play as Pokemon in a world of Pokemon, and like you have friends and neighbors and classmates. Like you go to Poke School as a Pokemon, and like it's all story driven. There's like pretty good dialogue. There's like your best friend will be a Cyndaquil or something, you know.
That's interesting. I never knew any of that.
It's very interesting. The actual gameplay is like sort of dungeon crawl sort of like a 2D dungeon crawler, where you have to fight, where you have a team of Pokemon, and you go out and fight Pokemon. But it's a little strategy based, where like it's all like squares you're walking on and stuff. That part's kind of interesting, but I really actually enjoy the story part of it. And yeah, they can be even very heart wrenching at the end. So yeah, they're pretty cool. You might want to check it out sometime. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really liked the 3DS one. That was fun, especially because it was just updated. You know, I tend to prefer updated games. Like, I don't know, they just seem easier to play to me because you can just see everything really well.
Yeah.
When the graphics are better.
Yeah, I mean, I've never understood when everybody's like, "Oh, this game sucks because the graphics are bad," but at the same time, I do appreciate good graphics.
Yeah, I'm definitely not like graphics are number one, definitely not. But yeah, but that's why I guess we're like Nintendo. They're never cutting edge with graphics, but they're usually good enough. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and gorgeous sometimes still. So
Yeah, and like, I mean, I still go back and play NES and SNES games,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they look terrible now,
Yeah.
most of them.
they do. Speaking of new games, do you want to talk about Sword and Shield a little bit?
Sure.
Since we're on Pokemon.
While we're on this Pokemon train. Yeah, so unlike a lot of people, we actually liked Sword
I
and
actually
Shield.
really enjoy it.
And I really liked it. I enjoyed playing it on the Switch. I enjoyed the experience of playing it on the Switch, playing it on the big screen.
Very nice.
And I really liked how big the cities felt.
Yeah, the cities are really nice. I really like them.
Because, like, even though obviously there's still not a lot to them, and it really only takes a few seconds to get from one end to the other, I mean, they still feel
just
so
feel
much
big.
bigger than they did in earlier games.
And the fact there's just multiple stores. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, this is awesome. I can go so many places.
I loved the character designs. I loved
Love the character customization.
Yeah.
So fun.
I loved the British Isles accents everybody had.
Yeah. Some of the dialogue is hilarious. Like, especially because I just know a lot of British slang. So just like hearing it all was really funny.
And the game had had a lot of my favorite Pokemon.
Yeah. It was
and-
definitely missing some, but
Yeah.
I mean, it had enough. I feel like, you know,
Yeah, I think it had plenty.
400 is a lot still. So compared to Gen 2 that I'm playing right now, which has 251, like there's 400 Pokemon. There's a lot of Pokemon.
Yeah.
And the new ones are really well designed. I really like a lot of the new designs on some of them.
The wild area was kind of cool. Again, it felt big compared to
It did feel really
a lot
big.
of things. A lot of the previous Pokemon
Yeah,
games.
like if you play it before the third gym or like second gym, before you have a bike, it takes a long time to get from side to side of the wild area. Like it's pretty insane, which is really cool. So you got Sword.
Yep.
Yes, I got Shield. Did you have a reason for getting Sword in particular?
Yeah. I thought it had nothing to do with the actual game. I just wanted the sword.
Yeah,
one.
like swords are cool.
Yeah,
I want
swords are
the
cool.
sword one. That's awesome.
I do like the sword legendary. I think I like him better
Very
than the
cool.
shield one.
Yeah.
I like them both actually. I think they're
Yeah, I
pretty
really like
neat
their
designs.
designs. Yeah.
And yeah, my team. So I started with
Yeah,
fire
what was
starter.
What was your starter? Yes.
The
Score
fire-
Bunny.
Score Bunny. Yes,
Score Bunny.
Score Bunny.
Very cute.
Kicking his flaming soccer ball
Yes.
at enemies and to defeat them.
I love his middle evolution.
Yeah,
Raboot.
yeah.
Raboot. And I just love he's just got his hands in his hoodie pocket the whole time.
Yeah.
Love that design. It's great.
Um,
I, of course, started with Sobble because I
yeah.
pretty much exclusively start with water types,
Right.
as you know. I was really happy that they were singular type, even though they sometimes had moves that kind of geared towards a secondary type. I just thought it was nice to not base it solely on that, because in some previous games, like X and Y and Sun and Moon, I like really guided my team based on that secondary type. Like But in this, I got to just focus on other ones. Anyway, yes, more of your team.
Yeah, I got a Corviknight, which I think is a pretty cool Pokemon.
Super good design.
Yeah,
I also had a Corviknight on my main team.
I had that that fox, dark type fox.
Thievul.
Yeah, Thievul,
Yeah,
which
Nickit and Thievul.
which made me think of Sly Cooper.
Oh, totally.
Do you remember those games?
It totally was like Sly Cooper. Yeah.
Even
it was a fox.
Even his eyes were like black, like as if he had a blindfold on, or like a Swiper.
Like Swiper, yeah, he's basically Swiper.
He's
Swiper, no swiping.
Uh-huh.
So I really liked Nickit's design.
Yeah,
Especially Thievul's I didn't like as much,
yeah,
but I don't know. Anyway, Nickit was adorable, I thought.
yeah. I had a Boltund.
Again, you are much bigger in the electric types than
Oh
I
yeah,
am.
love electric types.
I rarely have an electric type, which is weird.
I pretty much always have an electric type of
Yeah.
some sort.
And Boltund's cool, and Yamper's obviously adorable because I love corgis.
And Boltund is like really strong. Like I didn't use him very often because I was often focusing on leveling up my weaker Pokemon. But every time I pulled him out,
It was awesome. Yeah, I feel like Yamper early on is really weak, but then he just like jumps up at some point and becomes the strongest on your team.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I had the tortoise, the water tortoise that isn't Squirtle. Dreadnought.
Yeah, the other turtle. Everyone calls him like Squirtle's cousin or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water
Shoodle.
rock.
Shoodle.
Now, my team wound
Love
up being
typing sometimes.
extremely weak to fighting because I had a water rock type, I had a dark type, I had a
Steel type with
a steel
Corviknight.
type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting, yeah.
So, and then, so I didn't have a lot of great options against Pokemon with fighting type moves. And I had a Pillow Swine as an ice type.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You did have a Pillow Swine.
Call back to Gen 2.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've never used Pillow Swine before.
Yeah, Swinub was, and I might not,
like, sure.
I might not have used it except that I just found one. I thought, oh, okay, well, there's an ice type.
Yeah.
Swinub was extremely weak
Yeah.
and really annoying to
sucks.
use, but Pillow Swine is pretty good.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Did you ever evolve it
Yeah.
to to its third?
Oh no, not Mamoswine.
Yeah.
No, never did. I forgot how it whether it evolves just from level or if it's
No, you have to know ancient power.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
is he didn't know ancient power and
You're like, nah,
yeah.
meh,
So I
good
just
enough.
didn't worry about it. The idea of the gyms being like some circuit challenge where that was interesting.
It was interesting.
I'm not certain that's I'm not certain it's completely unique, but it was new to me.
Yeah, it felt new for the series for sure.
Yeah.
Even though it was really just the same, but
Right. Yeah. it all kind of boils down
the like
to the
challenges
same thing,
beforehand were kind of a callback to Sun and Moon with the totem challenges. But it did feel fresh a little bit,
Yeah.
which was kind of cool. And
The
the
whole-
grandness of having that big audience was really cool.
Yeah, the whole like soccer stadium.
Yeah, because obviously football is really huge in Europe, so
Right.
totally made sense for the region. Yeah, it really played to the region a lot, which I thought was cool,
Yeah.
especially because I just love English countryside type stuff. So yeah, that was really nice. Very nice.
It was very easy, but so have been every game since Gen 3 has been pretty easy, I think.
I liked how difficult the wild area could be at times, though.
Yeah.
Like you just run into a Pokemon that you were scared of.
Yeah, because they'd be way
strong,
higher level
which
than
I
you.
liked. I like being scared a little bit. Like there should be stuff that's really powerful.
Yeah, and like talking about World of Warcraft again, in vanilla World of Warcraft, it wasn't unusual for a really powerful roaming enemy to just be in a fairly low level area.
Yeah, you're
just,
like run for your life.
Yeah, and if you just happen across it, then it just kills you.
That's awesome.
They in later patches they got rid of most of that, but in the early game they had that kind of stuff.
I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it keeps things interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just even though it was easy, I think it was it wasn't like it wasn't too
It wasn't
easy.
boringly easy, I don't think.
I don't think it was boringly easy.
And the quality of life like improvements in this game are just awesome. Like EXP share is just part of the game. You don't even think about it.
And they did it well.
They did. Yeah.
The way it works, like the way that EXP is distributed amongst your team.
Like the one fighting the battle gets the most. And then the lowest Pokemon leveled, it gets the second most, which is awesome. That's like, of course, that's awesome. Like you, it really evens out your team.
It keeps you from having one Pokemon that's way stronger than all the others.
And getting good EXP for, this has been in the game for a little while, but I thought it was just done better in this game, was the getting good EXP for catching Pokemon too.
Yeah.
Which just makes sense. I mean,
and then you don't have to worry about just only fighting trainers to get good experience or spending a lot of time grinding. You can also
because grinding wild Pokemon is just not fun. At all.
And if you're wanting to build up your Pokedex, you can get two things done at once.
So my team, by the way, I'll go on my team a little bit.
Sure.
Again, started with Sobble. I love Sobble's design. Super cute. Inteleon is okay. He's okay. It's a little weird. I kind of like the spy, the kind of like secret agent type thing. And the finger gun is really cool. Just overall.
It's just kind of Greninja all over again.
Yeah, a little bit. And just it was just like, meh. Didn't do much for me. My favorite starter of this gen is actually Gricky. And Ribbon Boom. I like his design a lot. Very Donkey Kong-esque with the big drum and like the taiko drum, basically.
Which that just makes really cool. That makes me think of the rival. And in newer gens, I often feel bad for the rival because they're usually pretty nice to you.
Their dreams are so crushed. It's like so just messed
beat
up.
Them over and over again.
Hop's just
they never have
hell,
any
you won
hope.
Again, huh? Interesting. Same thing in Sun and Moon. That poor guy.
In Sun and Moon, I don't feel as bad because he just kind of takes everything in stride.
He's just like happy, like, whatever. Oh yeah, I guess the worst one was Serena and X and Y.
Serena, I really felt bad for.
Yeah, she was just like
she tried so
hard. No matter
hard.
how hard I try, you just always win. It's like she literally would just say things like that. Yeah. So messed up.
They should have had one fight at the end where all her team was like level 90.
Yeah, where like she just destroyed you. Yeah. Or an impossible to win fight with her or something.
Yeah.
Just to make her feel a little better about herself. Yeah. So, okay. Anyway, Inteleon, my first one. I named him Gloop.
Gloop?
Gloop, because he's just bloop. He's gloopy. He's very gloopy. So that was what I named him.
As usual, I did not nickname him.
I nicknamed my Pokemon. So I'll talk about my nicknamed Pokemon as well. I got an Alcremie because I loved the idea of that Pokemon. And she's actually a very strong fairy type. So, and fairy was very good in this game. Fairy type was very necessary, even just against the myriad of dark types. It was really nice to have a good fairy type. And she was a mint cream one. Mint cream, which I liked a lot. It has like a green bluish hue to it. You have to do that. So you have to spin it at night, counterclockwise, for like 10 seconds. And then she'll evolve into mint flavor. I love the ridiculous methods for evolving some of the Pokemon.
What was the fruit?
The strawberry one, the main
strawberry.
one that you just get that you can find. Yeah, the strawberry sweet. Yeah, I fought the cafe owner, like both of them in 2 different cities, like 5 times each, and I didn't get a single sweet from them.
Oh wow.
Which is apparently very rare, and I was just the unluckiest person ever. So when I found the strawberry sweet, I was like, thank God, I can just finally evolve my Milcery or Milcery. But anyway, she's very good. I named her Chantilly, which is a type of pastry cream. So that was fun. So it's Chantilly. And then I had 2 ghost types because next to water is my favorite type. My other favorite type is ghost type. I love many ghost types. Favorite being Miss Magus, who is not in this game, unfortunately. But I had a Chandelure and I had a Frostlass. Chandelure was the last addition to my team, kind of later, because I really wanted a good fire type. And I was like, I mean, well, what better fire type? Like his special attack is insanity. So, and then Frostlass is ice ghost, you know. So I actually, I did something kind of that I thought was really cute. I made sure I have a female Frostlass, obviously, because they're always female.
Right.
But for Chandelure, I wanted to make him male. I wanted to make sure I got a male Litwick because I had like a backstory for them.
Yeah.
Basically, my backstory was that they were a rich married couple in life. They were human, obviously. Kind of goes along with their Pokedex entries, so I just went with it. They were a married couple. She was very cold and kind of a hard woman, but he was so romantic and fiery and passionate that it kind of like warmed her heart anyway. And they were very balanced. He was very fiery and she was very cold. And he one day in their palace, because they were rich, he was still a very handy man, so he was working on his own stuff instead of like a servant. And so he was working on a chandelier, trying to fix it. And she was underneath, kind of like guiding him and talking to him and saying like, "You're an idiot. What are you doing? Like, be more careful." He falls with the chandelier, killing him and crushing her as well. So they both they died together and were reborn as a Frostlass and a Chandelure. And now live together continually in my team. So I got to keep them united, which is very sweet, I think. His name was Asher, and her name was Crystal.
Crystal.
Yep, Crystal and Asher. So that's my Chandelure and my Frostlass.
Nice.
Match made in heaven. Very sweet. Let's see. I have two more.
Crystal killed by a chandelier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Crystal Chandelier. It was a crystal chandelier.
Uh-huh.
Ice crystals. Anyway, it's all very convenient, wasn't it? Let's see. My last two. I have a Corviknight as well. I also went with Corviknight. Really good. Really nice to have a decent steel type and then a flying type, obviously. So her I named Luna. She's very knightly, moon aspect to her, I feel like. So I thought that fit. Lastly, it was my Gigalith. So Gigalith is basically the only rock type I like. Not really a rock type fan. I mean, I like, Onyx is kind of cool, but just, I don't know. They're also not very good, I feel like.
Well, they really aren't.
Yeah. But the fact that Gigalith is pure rock helps a lot because rock ground is awful compared to pure rock, I feel like. And then good base attack. So, yep. So I had a Gigalith. And he is the only one I didn't nickname because I felt like Gigalith is such a cool name and fits his cool stoniness perfectly. So I just didn't name him. But yes, that's my team, who are now all level 100, by the way.
Oh, wow.
I got them all to level 100.
Mine are like maybe level 60.
Yeah.
So
that was from my main account, which I also got. I finished the Pokedex in.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I got all 400 Pokemon in there.
I didn't really feel motivated to do that this time. But
well, I was catching just random cool ones that I thought were just new or really cool or whatever. And I had like 200 already. I was just like, I kind of want to just do it, kind of just go for it. So, yeah, I just went for it. And to get a lot of those, obviously a lot are exclusive, and a lot are, need to trade to get a hold of. So what I did was got all the ones I possibly could, and then I got the trade items I needed for all of them. Like I did everything I could have possibly done on my game. And then I also wonder traded a bunch of Pokemon just for fun. And I ended up getting like 3 different sword exclusives on my game.
Oh, yeah.
Through that. So, and the other 2 starters. So I got all those taken care of at least. And so what I did was I came here while you were at work.
Oh, right.
And I took your Switch. Did you even know about this?
Yeah.
Okay, you did. Did mom tell you?
Yeah.
I took your Switch. I went in your game and I caught all of the Pokemon I needed because you didn't have them, obviously, because you weren't going for the Pokedex. So I had to get some of the hardest to catch Pokemon. I was in the Lake of Outrage for a couple hours,
Wow.
getting like 4% chance Pokemon, like Turtonator or whatever his name is. I got freaking, I don't know, a bunch of other hard ones. So I grinded on your game to get to get all the ones I needed, and I traded them all, and traded over your legendary, traded it back to you. Didn't take your legendary. You're welcome. And then I had it all. Oh, it was really cool actually. So I got to 399 on my Pokedex, and then I finished the post game where I actually got the Shield legendary and stuff.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So the Shield legendary was actually my final Pokemon,
Oh, that's kind
which
of
I
cool.
thought was a cool kind of grander end to it than just trading something randomly and having that be it.
Yeah.
So it was actually really fun.
Yep. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good game. I don't think I'm going to bother getting a Shield copy also. I think having
Yeah.
the one is fine. Just like I didn't get a copy of Sun either.
Yeah. Sun and Moon was the only game I did that. I got both games.
Yeah.
I did a lot of Sun and Moon play.
I used to do that. Well, I did that with the first two
Gen
gens,
1. Yeah.
Gen 1 and 2. But yeah, not the others. I didn't really think I needed to. I actually currently own either the gen or the remake of every gen except 4 and 5, I think.
I think those are the only ones I don't own too.
I haven't played Black, White, Black 2, White 2, or
Yeah, you haven't played Gen 5 at all, right?
right.
It's not bad.
I did actually play a little
Better
bit
than
of
Gen 4.
Diamond, but not long.
Yeah, I borrowed Pearl from somebody.
Yeah,
And
I've
just played through it.
been meaning to play that again.
Yeah, you can emulate it pretty easily.
Yeah, which that's
if
that's
you're
how
into that
that's
kind
how
of thing.
I played it.
Not that I would ever condone doing such a thing.
Right, of
I would
course.
never do that.
Please support the official release.
Please support the official release. Yeah, it's funny, I always go for the and versions. And by that I mean red and blue or gold and silver. I always go for the second one.
Interesting.
Pretty much always. Sun and moon, I got moon. Gold and silver, I prefer silver. Sword and shield, I got shield. Yeah, I always prefer the and versions.
I just
which is-
go with whichever. I either just go by like title or color of cartridge.
That's the thing.
Or,
I don't do it on purpose. I
or
just
legendary.
happen to always go with the and version.
Yeah.
I just always want that one more for whatever it has.
Like I think I picked Moon. I don't remember why
I just like
exactly.
Lunala. I
Yeah.
thought Lunala was cool. Yeah. It's funny. I remember I got Shield mostly because of Galarian Rapidash and Ponyta.
Oh yeah.
Because they're very cool. Very, very... Those magical unicorn designs are very cool, I thought. Ironically, I didn't use one in my main team.
Yeah.
But I've started... How many files, Brian, have you played of Sword and Shield?
Oh, just one.
Yeah, I know. I have 4 that are kind of all ongoing at the same time.
Yeah.
So my main one is the one where I've beaten the game, level 100 team, 400 Pokedex, right? The other 3 are just totally for fun, mostly because there's so many good Pokemon that I liked that I wanted on a team, but so I just started a new game on another profile.
Yeah.
And I got to, play as new people. So I got to design, have different hair and clothes and stuff. So that was fun. It's fun.
Yeah. There are some games I do that kind of thing.
I just love starting a new game usually.
Yeah. Like obviously I did that with Gen 1 dozens of times.
Yeah.
And Gen 2 a few times. I've actually only played Gen 2 start to finish maybe 4 times.
Yeah. We're definitely
Quite a
Gen
bit less
1ers,
than
sadly.
Gen 1. Yeah.
Not that
I'm not sad about
Thankfully,
it.
I'm not.
I make no apologies.
well, I do. I don't. I pretend I'm not a Gen 1er. It's what I started with, okay? You always love your first gen.
Gen 1 is the first.
It's the best gen. Okay, Grandpa.
Yeah.
I know. Okay. We were saying too. I feel like Sword and Shield was the most RPG like Pokemon game. Do you see what I mean by that at all?
Go on a little further. I think I might see.
The biggest reason is mostly because of the wild area. Because I feel like in old games, the only way to grind was for levels in wild battles.
Yeah.
That's it, basically.
Well, that's one thing is Pokemon is one of the few games that has a strong distinction between battle types, because like in say Final Fantasy, for example, all fights are basically the same. It's either a boss or not a boss. Whereas in Pokemon there are wild battles and then trainer battles, and those are kind of two different things, and they're both treated differently.
And then gym battles are a totally different thing.
Yeah.
And like rival battles, and then mostly because of the Dynamax raids that you can do that get progressively harder as you go through the gyms. Because before the first gym, which is very unique to any Pokemon game, there are so many more Pokemon available to you than in any other Pokemon game ever, by far. Like, for one of my playthroughs, I have all 8 evolutions just for fun because I've never done that in any game, and I got all 8 of them before the first gym. Yeah, which is unheard of.
Yeah, I'm not sure there is any other game you can do that.
Definitely no other game you can do that
without being able to like Wonder Trade or something.
Yeah, I think that's so insanely cool that you can actually get a full good team that you like of Pokemon you actually like before the first gym even. Because you can grind early Dynamax raids basically indefinitely and never even raise the levels of your Pokemon. But what you do get are tons of XP candy. So now you could have any Pokemon and get them up to whatever your level your team is. You get tons of TRs. So I have level 20 Pokemon with Psychic and Surf and their best moves basically from the get-go. That's mostly why I say it's the most RPG like, because you can really grind out items and you can grind abilities and like stuff like that way early, which you definitely can't do in any other Pokemon game. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. And you can grind friendship in other Pokemon games. I mean, later they fixed it with the Ami a little bit, with the Pokemon Ami, with the affection ratings and stuff. But like pre-Gen 5, it was like you had to battle with your Pokemon for it to grow in friendship. I think technically you could walk with it and it would go up in friendship, but you'd have to walk for days, real-time days, for it to be at max. And in this, camping and cooking with it, cooking curry and playing with it, actually raises their affection. And then when you talk to them, however many hearts pop up was where their affection's at. And so that's why I was able to get, Espeon and Umbreon before the first gym. It's because I can just grind out their friendship super easily. Nice. So like stuff like that is why I really like it. I think it's really cool. Because you can actually really get a team you're happy with early on, which is usually my biggest gripe with some Pokemon games.
Yeah. Well, like I was saying, when I was playing Silver, is half my team I picked up after beating almost all of the Johto gyms.
Yeah, and I'm always so sad when and I mean there's some of that in Sword and Shield, but it's a lot less. Where it's like I really want this Pokemon on my team, but I can't get it until after the 7th gym or after the Elite Four. It's like if it's after the Elite Four, who cares? Like the game's over. Like I mean, yeah, you can collect it, but it's just a lot cooler to be able to really play out the game with it.
That was also another interesting thing. Was this the first game that didn't have an Elite Four?
Yeah.
I don't.
Sun and Moon have one?
Sort of. Yeah, basically.
I don't remember. I don't remember the end of Sun and Moon for some reason.
Like Acerola. I forget how to pronounce her name. And then Kukui, I think, was one of them. And then...
I think you're right. I think there was an Elite Four.
And then... I forget who else was on it. And then the champion was some like golfing girl.
Yeah. I don't even remember. Yeah.
It was weird to have the
funny.
champion be someone you've never heard of.
Yeah. It was like that in it's kind of weird in X and Y too. I was just that actress lady who you saw
yeah.
like once once or twice and had sort of heard of her. It's like, oh, she's the champion. Who knew? Like, but in this, it's like the champion was so much of a bigger deal. I thought that was cool. How like Leon was such a big deal.
Yeah.
And then it was like a tournament of the gym leaders to get to the champion. Yeah, I liked that.
Yeah.
I did like that. Yeah, so I liked the uniqueness. The only 400 Pokemon didn't bother me, so
Nope.
they were
Didn't
still
bother
good
me
Pokemon.
either. I mean,
Like half of my favorite Pokemon are not in the game. Actually, so like in my team, my favorite team, 4 out of the 6 on the team were not in this game. But I still loved the game. Like,
well, and I've always considered each game to be kind of its own isolated thing.
I don't get all 800 Pokemon in a Pokemon game.
Yeah.
Like in Sun and Moon, I did not get all 700 Pokemon.
Yeah. Because like Gen 2 was interesting because it had basically full backwards compatibility with Gen 1. But as far as I remember, Gen 3 didn't have any backwards compatibility.
I think there is a way to get Gen 2 ones to Gen 3, but I don't remember how exactly.
To go from regular Game Boy to
I think there was a way,
Game Boy Advance.
but I don't remember exactly.
Oh yeah, I guess maybe. I don't know. Anyway, if there was, I wasn't aware of it, but I'm pretty sure you couldn't go from 3 to 4, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
We weren't into Pokemon then, so
yeah, this was
we didn't play that much right then.
After the hype had died down. I never actually played Crystal.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I really like Crystal. I actually really want to get a Crystal cartridge.
It was
I only have Silver.
I think it was the only Game Boy
2.
Color one.
Yeah,
because Gen 3 was Game Boy Advance.
That is true. I think some of them were heightened on Game Boy Color. Like I know the what's it called? The trading card game. It was in a black Game Boy cartridge, and actually the black cartridge had a meaning. I don't know if you knew that. It was actually they're black for a reason. It indicates a game that has extra something on a Game Boy Color, as opposed to a regular Game Boy. Usually it's just color, but like the colors are built in. Yeah. So like you can play it on a regular Game Boy and you just won't see the colors. But if you put it in a Game Boy Color, there's more to it, which is really cool. Actually, the biggest one was the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX. So the original one was a gray cartridge, but the DX release was a black cartridge. And there was actually another dungeon in the game. If you played it, if you played it on a Game Boy Color, called the Color Dungeon, literally, with like weird color puzzles. So yeah, it was really cool.
If you played, so obviously Gen 1 was made for the regular Game Boy, but when you played it on a Game Boy Color, if you played blue, it was this kind of dull blue.
Yeah, it was really nice blue.
This like faded dull blue with red accents. So like the back sprite of I think your Pokemon was red. And then with in red version everything was red and the back sprites were green, which is kind of a callback to green version.
Which we did not get in the States. Yeah.
And I remember if you pressed a certain button combination when the game started up, you could change the colors.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Dang, I didn't know that.
I think this was only on the Game Boy Color. You should try this on your Game Boy.
Yeah, because I have a red cartridge.
Yeah. Because you could swap it to the other game, so you could make it red with. If you had blue version, you could make it red with green. You could make it gold with blue, which was
cool.
Really cool looking. I thought.
You should look it up.
And then there was one where it like reversed all the colors.
Oh, that's cool.
So everything was like black with like
it's
green
like weird
little accents on everything.
Yeah.
It was interesting. And then
cool.
you could just make it black and white, monochrome, like in the Game Boy Pocket.
Yeah, my silver cartridge on my Color definitely has color. So I think they added that to gold and silver too.
Yeah.
Because there's full color on the Game Boy Color. So it was really nice. it's nice to play, even though Gold and Silver looks pretty much identical to the first gen in like menu and sprites and stuff, but the sprites in the Pokemon battles are so much better.
Oh yeah, the back sprites are
Back
much
sprites
better.
especially, yeah. It's like, oh, that's odd. This actually looks like Pokemon, which is nice. Like some of the red and blue sprites are so bad.
I always said if I did a ROM hack, I'd love to import the Gen 2 back sprites.
Yeah. There's a lot of really good ROM hacks of Gen 1 with just those little improvements and stuff.
I wanted to make one that was like more difficult, but not more difficult by just raising the levels of everything.
Not just stupid difficult.
Because that's what it seems.
Some do.
I've played some of the hard mode or DX mode ROM hacks just to get a more difficult Pokemon game, and the only difference was that everything was just higher level, so you just had to grind more. But that was it.
It's like, well, that's not fun.
That didn't make the game harder. It just made it more tedious.
Yeah, just make their AI better. Like,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, I think that would be a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
What I would do is,
It doesn't have to be amazing, just better.
I would just up the levels a little bit, just enough so that you don't feel like you have to grind a whole lot, but enough to make it so they aren't total pushovers.
So you're not 10 levels above all the time.
And then fix the movesets.
Yeah.
Give them better
Update
moves.
it to like.
Like-
Do you know of a ROM hack of Gen 1 that adds the special and physical differentiation?
I'm not sure how easy that would be to do.
It'd be very hard, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't stop anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
It seems like
I'd
a thing that would be amazing.
I'd love a
Gosh, that'd be so nice.
a Gen 1 remake with at least Gen 5 mechanics.
Yeah. Dude, I can't stand that playing Gen 2 right now and being used to having moves be physical or special, because it's just like confusing to me because I'm so used to that now.
Right.
Like my Vulpix, pretty much all her fire moves suck because fire is physical, right?
No, fire is special.
Oh, fire is special?
Yeah.
I don't know. Exactly.
No, but what's weird is like
I don't know.
like when you use crunch and it is dependent on your special attack stat.
Yeah, I know. Like just
because dark type is purely a
everything
special
feels
type.
backwards to me.
Yeah.
I'm so used to it being some ways, but yeah. Anyway, still fun, but you know.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just think because like I feel like so Brock has always been way too easy in Gen 1. He's just way too easy. Like
unless you start with Charmander.
Well, no. So here's the thing: is everybody says that, but he's not hard with Charmander. You just spam Ember. His Pokemon have really low special.
Yeah.
Really low special. I even started Charmander in Fire Red, where he can learn Metal Claw, and Ember did just as much damage because Onyx's defense is so high that Metal Claw is actually pretty useless.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he just has to be high enough level, I guess.
Yeah, he's easy, and even if you don't, and then if you did start Charmander and you don't want to slog through spamming Ember, just catch a Butterfree or whatever. Like,
exactly.
You have lots of options, but
once you get a good Butterfree, you're good.
But if Geodude knew Rock Throw, it'd be way harder.
It'd be way harder, and why wouldn't he? Like he should know Rock Throw.
So that's the kind of thing I would do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe give like gym leaders better moves even.
Yeah.
Now
Misty doesn't need to be any harder.
No,
she's the hardest gym in Gen 1 easily.
Yeah. Level 20 Pikachus have issues sometimes still.
Oh yeah.
Still with her.
Because Pikachu has no survivability, so one bubble beam and he might be down.
Yeah. And then you'll almost kill her Starmie and then it'll heal back up. So yep. Good times.
Misty used full restore. F you.
Yeah.
So you have a new little game over there?
Oh,
on the table?
Are you referring to my really cool R-Wing figure that you can't see in this audio-only podcast?
Correct.
So what I am holding is the toy plug-in for a little game called Starlink. And it is a super cool R-Wing little figure. R-Wing from Star Fox, if you're not aware. Brian, have you ever heard of Starlink?
I had not heard of it until you told me about it today.
Yeah, neither has anyone else ever in the history of the world. So I did some more research on this game. and so it was basically going on the hype of all of those kind of toy plug-in games like Disney Infinity or Skylanders, or stuff like that, with the little figures that you can tap.
Or Smash with amiibos.
Well, sort of, yeah. So with this, I'm holding this super cool R-Wing figure, which was worth it just for this. And you can like mount this on basically a Switch controller dock thing, and you can then play with this specific ship, in game. And the game itself, though, is actually a really pretty in-depth, like explorer and starfighter game. A lot of people compare it to No Man's Sky, which everyone knows, everyone's favorite game, No Man's Sky, which also had a lot of controversy around it. But like the look is very similar to that, actually, and the way the planets look and stuff. But this one's actually a little more story driven and stuff. But the inclusion of Star Fox into it is super cool, I think. And neither of us are huge Star Fox people.
Right.
Like, what have you played of Star Fox?
None of the games. I was introduced to him through Smash Bros.
Well, yes.
Like many other characters.
Okay.
Also,
Fox, no items, Final Destination.
Did you know that I didn't know who Samus was until after Smash?
Wow. After the first Smash? Well, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
You
But
didn't
like
play
I
Super
had
Metroid
never
or anything?
heard of Samus before that, and I assumed at first that it was just a character created for Smash.
Yeah.
And then later I learned,
Like,
there have been all
Metroid
these games.
is a huge deal. Okay, never mind. That's funny. So I actually played some Star Fox 64. Great game, actually. Really fun. But I haven't really played much else. Like I remember back when the Wii U first came out and they announced Star Fox Zero. And I was like, this looks really cool. I might actually play a Star Fox game for once. And then everyone was like, this is the worst game ever. And I was like, oh, maybe not. Maybe I won't play a Star Fox game. So Star Fox has had a hard life a little bit. But same with like F-Zero. Basically just forgotten.
I remember Star Fox was pretty much the game that sold the Rumble Pack for the N64.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's one of the few N64 things I still don't have.
Yeah, there was also that like little upgrade module that you could put into the front of the.
Oh, like the
N64.
red RAM increase thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that I actually have.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never had one.
That's so
after
funny.
all these years.
Because you never played Donkey Kong 64, did you?
No.
Ever. Yeah. So it like came with that.
Yeah.
That game came with the RAM increase because it had to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's like a game-breaking bug in it that would just not be able to let you continue playing the game. Yeah, when I got my 64, it came with it. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, but anyway, Star Fox's inclusion in this game is super cool because like graphics are actually really good in this game. The R-Wing is super cool. I mean, this was basically worth it just for this. It's so cool. Look, it clicks.
Yeah.
Do you hear this?
And
you hear this?
And
Amazing.
how much did you pay for this?
That's the best part, Brian. This game did not sell well.
Right.
I don't know, judging by the fact you've never heard of it. So this starter pack is what this was called. It comes with the R-Wing, super nice figure. Comes with the controller mounts, 2 characters, 2 weapons, and the game itself. Made by Ubisoft, by the way, which is...
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ubisoft game. So hopefully not too glitchy. But so all of this, I think it was, when it came out, it was $60. Like, this was one of the main launch versions of it. I got it for $6. You want to just get rid of those zeros?
Yep.
$6, $5.99, Best Buy. I heard about it on a. I follow a Twitter that's go follow our Twitter at
The Brothers
at
Game
Brothers
Podcast.
Game Pod. Brothers Game Pod.
Yeah, Brothers Game Pod is
on Twitter. If you want to see a
You
picture,
can also
if
go.
you want to see a picture of this R-Wing, I'll post it there.
You can also go to
What an idea!
thebrothersgamepodcast.com
Oh, we have a website that's so cool. Guess where it goes?
to our Twitter
The
page.
Twitter. Hey, till we get anything on there. So yes, please go follow us on Twitter if you listen. Thank you. Also, little plug there. We have no other sponsors, so we'll sponsor ourselves.
That's right.
Gosh, I can't believe $6. So yeah, I follow like a Nintendo News Twitter, and they sometimes post when like crazy deals are happening on Nintendo stuff. So I saw this, and they were like BestBuy.com $5.99, and even the tweet said worth it just for the R-Wing figure, even if you don't play the game. And I'm like, you're right. So got it on that, picked it up today. But I'm going to try it because it actually looks really fun. And a lot of people say it's, I've heard it said that it's just underrated, like that it's actually a pretty solid starfighting game. So I'm kind of excited to try it out. Yeah.
Well, and with that, I think we're good.
Are we ending it? How long are we going?
Hour 15?
Oh, incredible.
Yeah.
But I have this incredible other thing I wanted to talk about.
And that is?
See you guys next time on the next Brothers Game podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Go follow our Twitter. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that little bell icon. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Not watching. You're not watching anything. You're just watching a screen.
Unless you're listening to this on YouTube. Then you're maybe
you're
technically
kind of still
watching.
not really watching anything.
Yeah.
Probably just a picture. I don't know. We haven't posted any yet.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.